Sunrise, sunbeam. I'm sorry, I can't speak.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going through my compacts and face palettes and maybe drugstore palettes. We'll see how we kind of get on. But yeah, so in this drawer is all my compacts. This is where I keep like a lot of my compacts, a lot of my smaller palettes, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's go straight into, let's get straight on into it. Okay, so here I have a couple of blushes. These are just like from Makeup Obsession, like all of them. So they sent me a couple of weeks ago their like cream blush range. So they came out with like loads of different colours in it. I've only used this one and I quite like it, but I'd probably use it on a no makeup day, to be honest with you. And then they also sent me cream highlighters. I've only used maybe like 2 of these, I think. Maybe this one, I think, because I think that this one is going to be way too dark for me. But they are gorgeous. I need to use them some more though, to be honest with you. Okay, over here we have a couple of other like little things. I have like some smaller palettes. So I have a Too Faced holiday palette, which you can no longer get, but I like to keep it for myself. Yeah. And then I have a couple of I Heart Revolution highlighter palettes. These are dead cute. These are really nice. I just wish they were a little bit like lighter because it's a little bit dark for me. I might get rid of it, but I don't know. This one is a bit more like my skin tone kind of thing. Sorry, try not to blind you. This one's gorgeous. Oh, look at that, it's stunning. I don't want to swatch everything. I then have a Patricia Bright face palette from Revolution. This is really handy for like traveling, especially because I can use all of these shades and I would only need to take this little small palette. Really pretty, really great for traveling. I then have an Ofra highlighter palette. This is the Feeling Myself palette. As you can see, I've got a lot of use out of this, like especially this shade here. I've like literally just hit pan on it like a tiny little bit, you can see. But yeah, still love it. I haven't used it in a while. I then have a Revolution Pro highlighter palette in Ice. Really like this. Really cute. I obviously mainly just stick to this shade. Haven't used it in a while, but oh my god, I need to use it. I'm sorry if you can like see me in this video. It's all good. It's all good. Then we have a couple of like different compacts. So I do have like this multi-glow, I think it's like a jelly highlighter kind of situation from Iconic London. I have used this once, but I used it when it was like, you know, when it was like dead sunny last year, and I literally just put this on. I didn't have any foundation or anything on. Not really like a liquid highlighter slash jelly highlighter kind of girl. Like I'm not like a cream product kind of girl, to be honest with you. More into like powders. I then have a Benefit Cookie. This is a backup because I'm literally running out of mine. I have a palette in another drawer. But this is like the most beautiful highlighter shade ever. It is gorgeous. I don't see the point in a little brush, but whatever, it's all good. I then have a loose highlighter from Artist Couture. This is in the shade Cocoa Bling. It's gorgeous. I need to use it some more. I then have the Becca highlighter in the shade Champagne Pop. Obviously this was like Jaclyn Hill's favourite shade. It's really pretty. A little bit deep for me, but I can still make it work. I then have a Colourpop highlighter in the shade Lunch Money. So pretty. I then have a Milani blush in the shade Dolce Pink. I do want the, is it Luminoso? Yeah, I do want that. I then have another Becca highlighter in the shade Moonstone. This is very pretty. I used to use it a lot. I then have a Lick and Lash highlighter in the shade Trust Fund. This is very dirty. I did have a little mirror there, but it kept falling out, so I just got rid of it. It's very dirty, but it's very pretty. Like, it's very pretty on. You wouldn't think it, but it is. I then have a Luna Beauty highlighter in the shade Mercury. It's like a yellowy toned highlighter, very pretty. I wish you come out with more highlighters in this compact because I love it. I I then have a Jaclyn Hill highlight, like a loose highlighter. This is in the shade Extra. This broke my bank account, you guys. It was expensive and I actually kind of regret it a little bit because it only looks good if you top it on top of another highlighter. Like it'll only look amazing on top of another highlighter. If you just have it by itself, yeah, sure, it looks good, but it doesn't look like £30 good. Well, let me tell you that. Waste the money, don't buy it. But I still kind of like it. Like, I still reach for it, but it's just, I don't think it's worth it. I then have the ABH Snowflake Loose Highlighter. Really like this. I then have a blusher, I think, yeah, matte blush from I Heart Revolution. This is in the shade Inspiring. I did do a video using, like, testing this out, and I really liked it. I then have the Heartbreakers highlighter in the shade Unique, again from I Heart Revolution. I then have a couple of, like, jelly highlighters from Beauty Bay, just a couple. The majority of them don't really work for me. But yeah, I have the shade Sunbeam, I'm sorry, I can't speak. Sunbeam Surprise Sparkle Light. What is wrong with me? I can't speak. Starlight Sparkle and Shimmering Stardust. But yeah, really pretty. I feel like I'm getting in the drawer. And then these here are like a lot of compacts that kind of like go together, if that can make sense. So I have the Makeup Obsession Game Set Matte Bronzer. It's meant to be a powder. Mine broke, obviously. Snapped it the other day, which is a shame, but I'd still like to keep it, so I like to use it as a bronzer. And then I have a couple of other bronzers from Makeup Revolution. These are dead cheap, really nice. I do kind of use this one more. This is Take a Vacation, but I still like this one as well. Like a light bronzer, really nice. I then have a lot of their blushes. So I have in this style, like these, like dead cheap, they're amazing. So I have Peach Bliss. I then have, this is too light for me, I don't know why I have it. Sweet Pea Love Struck, Peaches and Cream, my favourite, as you can tell by the packaging, and Rhubarb and Custard. I think I have another one. No, I don't. I'm lying. Sorry. I'm starving, you guys. It's like nearly 7 o'clock. I am starving. I then have the highlighters again in the same formula. This is Set the Tone. I then have One That's Too Dark for Me, Make an Impact. I then have the shade Just My Type. I then have the shade Dare to Indulge. Divulge. I thought I said indulge. Apparently not. That's definitely too dark for me, but I'd like to try it as a blush. I feel like it would look cute. So yeah. Then we have the infamous Amrezy highlighter with ABH. Oh, beautiful singing there, Emily. Beautiful singing. This is my favourite highlighter ever. It's gorgeous. Like, I just wait for it to come back into stock. I then have an ABH bronzer in the shade Tawny. It's a little bit dark for me. Like, that is quite dark. But the girl at the counter said it was the right shade, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you because, yeah, I don't know why. I then have a couple of Obsession highlighters. So I have Mega Honey, gorgeous, Mega Lightning, gorgeous. I don't really use this one, this is Mega Moon, but it's still gorgeous. I then have another two. They came out with these ones when they came out with the whole Feels collection. So this one is in the shade 24K, and then this pinky purpley tone one is in the shade Boss. Packaging's cute. I love Makeup Obsession. I don't know if I didn't say that before. I then have the shade Iced from them as well, which looks like this. They're cute. I then have a Two Different Star highlighters, obviously. This is in the shade Wet Dream. I like this one. This is a Supreme Frost one. Very glittery, but it is gorgeous. This one's a little bit dark for me, but I can still kind of make it work. I then have the shade Snow Globe, and I feel like this does nothing. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like this one, when I try and put it on my skin, it does nothing. But they're both very glittery, to be honest with you. Very glittery. I then have a Ofra one. This is in the shade Glazed Donut. This is the Nikki Tutorials collab. Really like it. I then have a Tarte highlighter. This is the Exposed one. This was my favourite highlighter for so long, if you can't tell. Literally hit pen on it, it's gorgeous. It's still one of my favourites. I will reach for it every now and again. But yeah. Then we have a couple of Jouer ones. They are really nice, but they just are very soft. So I wouldn't recommend travelling with them. This is in the shade Citrine, I think it is. And then I have another one in the shade Rose Quartz. This one for me is a little bit broken, as you can kind of see, which is a shame because it is gorgeous. But it's just very crumbly. It's very soft, so they're very easy to like break. Then I have a Makeup Geek highlighter in the shade Moonface. This is a duochrome one. Really pretty. Back when Makeup Geek were on Beauty Bay, now they're not, which is a shame, but kind of is what it is, to be honest with you. Then we have a Too Faced Papadon Peach blush. I love this blush, especially for summertime. I think it's gorgeous. Definitely one of my favourites, and it smells amazing as well. It smells like peaches a little bit. I'm living. I love it. Okay. Then I have two MAC ones. I have this one, it's a Soft Frost one. Wait, no, it's an Extra Dimension Skin Finish one. It's in Soft Frost, that's the name of it. Sorry. Like, that is so pretty. Obviously, it's like a duochrome kind of highlighter. Really nice. I don't really tend to use duochromes that much, to be honest with you. I'm more into like my natural highlighters. This was the first highlighter I ever picked up, guys. Like, I'm not even joking. It is the MAC Soft and Gentle. It is my favourite. I can't let go of it because it is literally like amazing. I'm just obsessed with it. Like, see that? It's gorgeous. It was my favourite, obviously, for a very long time. It was my first highlighter that I ever purchased. I remember purchasing it all them years ago. Can't believe I actually bought it. But yeah, I try not to support MAC too much because they aren't cruelty free, but there's just a couple of things I just like, that and MAC Nylon eyeshadow that I want in my collection, so I'll kind of keep. I then have a Nikki Tutorials, again Ofra collab highlighter. This is in the shade Cloud 9. It's got like a pinky reflect to it. And then we have another one which is obviously from Nikki Tutorials again. This is called Space Baby, and this is like a bluey one. Yes, it is. It's bluey. It's gorgeous. I'm obsessed. So that is that drawer pretty much done. Like I said, I do have a couple of compacts in my other drawer, which I'll go through when I kind of go over there. I'm not gonna bring you guys back and forth. Next drawer down are all of my face palettes. Can you see this? I do have a couple off my desk which are ABH ones, which I will come to when we kind of go over there. I'll do that all together with my other palettes that I have in my drawer. So I have a couple of ABH ones in here, but the majority are on top of my desk, which are over there. I'm not going to take you over there, but I do have a couple in here. So I have the Sugar Glow kit. I think this is one of my first ones I actually purchased, but yeah, I don't really use that one that much. I've considered getting rid of it a couple of times, but I'm like, no, you can't. But I might do. I'm very close to kind of like getting rid of it now. It's just coming to the end. I then have a backup of the Nicole Guerrero palette. This recently relaunched. I have loved my first one, which you'll see. And I had to stop using it for a while because I was like, I don't want to hit pan on any of the shades. I didn't think it was going to come back. And now that it's come back, I've like bought back up because I just know that I'm going to destroy the first one. I pretty much will use it every single day. So yeah. I then have a couple of Makeup Obsession blushes, like blush palettes, highlighter palettes. So I have the Isn't It Peachy one. This is definitely one of my favourites. Like, I can't even lie, it's gorgeous. Let me do this one first. This is the Pinky Promise blush palette from Makeup Obsession again. Again, I did get sent these, but I do love them. I use them pretty regularly, to be honest with you. I don't really use like the shimmer shades, but I mix these two together and it's gorgeous. I then have a bronzer palette from them, which is called Give Me Some Sun. I would normally stick to this shade. I like to use it as a contour shade sometimes. Really nice palette. I then have a highlighter palette from them, which is called Committed. Oh, mine's quite dirty, as you can see. I love these two shades. I also do like that shade as well. I'll use that as a blush topper sometimes. Don't really use this shade, can't lie. But yeah. Then we have the Makeup Obsession X Rady highlighter palette. Which came with like one side which is like moonlight, one side which is like sunlight. So this is the moonlight shade. What moonlight shades? Really pretty. Came with like, she put like a cute little thing up there. And then the other side, which is like, I'm so scared to like stab the shadows, which is like on the other side. If I can try and open it. There we go. So it's like this, and the other side's got a mirror, and this is, I think this is that sunlight shade. Yeah, this is the sunlight side. I feel like these two shades would be nice as blush toppers, to be honest with you. I do like these two shades. I love their highlighters, are gorgeous, you guys. Definitely recommend. Then we have the Throw Shade palette from them. Obviously I have this. I do like this, to be honest with you. It's more on the cool side, but it's really nice. I mainly stick to these two shades, to be honest with you, but I do like this as a highlighter. I could definitely get away with a couple of these like eyeshadows if I wanted to. I then have the So Lit palette, which is highlighters. Again, gorgeous. They really thought of everyone when it comes to making like palettes. They really cater for everyone. I can pretty much probably get away with half of these shades. Definitely the top row, this one, I could probably get away with that as a blush topper. Might be able to use that. But yeah, really gorgeous palette. Then they came out with the Feels palette, which is like a mixture, so it's got bronzers and highlighters. I really like this shade. I love these shades up top. I can use that again as like a blush topper. Really great palette. I really like the packaging of this one as well. It's gorgeous. Then underneath that we have a Revolution highlighter palette. I never see anyone talk about this. So this is, I don't know what this is actually. I will leave it on the screen because I don't get into the packaging. I think it's, I don't even know what it is. But these are gorgeous. These three shades are stunning. They're stunning. I have used this quite a few times and I actually really like it. Okay, let me put these back in here first before we move on. Because yeah, I do have a couple of other Revolution highlighter palettes which I'm going to get to in a second as well. But my drawer's just very mixed up. Like, I don't really have a layout to my drawer. I know where things are. Then I have the O for a Glow Up palette. This is like, has like a mixture of different highlighters in it. This is Star Island, I think. Yeah, it is. This is Star Island, Blissful, Rodeo Drive, and then Beverly Hills. I mainly stick to Star Island, but I can mix some of these shades in as well. Really nice palette, really gorgeous, so stunning. Mine's like broken a little bit, like I don't understand why it's broken, but I don't know. Then I have a BH Cosmetics Glowing in Grease palette. I love their little like blush palettes. This is really pretty. Obviously some of these shades are a bit dark for me, but I thought again of using them as like blush toppers, especially in summer. I think it'll be a dead cute. I've used this palette a little bit as well and I really like it, so yeah. And then we have the Blushing in Barley palette, which again, gorgeous. I love all these shades. I can definitely get away with these two as highlighters. Really stunning. I think they're like £12, so they're not even that bad considering you get like 6 shades in there. Really nice. Then I have a couple of the Beauty Bay highlighter palettes. I do have another one in my other drawer, obviously we'll come to that when we get to it. So I do have the palette in here which is called Brilliant. This is gorgeous. Some of these shades are a little bit dark for me, but like these two I can definitely get away with. They are stunning. They're quite glittery, which I've heard some people complain about that, but if you don't mind glittery highlighters then you'll be fine. And then this is the E301, which is obviously more of your like duochrome highlighters. They are gorgeous. If you're looking for a duochrome highlighter which is good quality but not too expensive, definitely recommend this one. Okay, then over here we have a couple more Evolution ones. So I have the Iconic Light and Contour Pro. I don't know if this is still one or not, but I love this shade for contouring. I love it. I also have used a couple of these shades as well sometimes underneath my eyes. Really like this palette. I don't want to get rid of it because it's dead affordable. If it's still available, which I hope it is, I'll link it down below, but if it's not then I'm sorry, but yeah. I then have the Roxy Contour and Highlighter palette. I don't really reach into this, but I need to. Because this shade, oh, look at that, that is gorgeous. That is stunning. I need to use that. I don't really reach into it because I'm not really like a contour kind of person. I'm more like a bronze kind of person, but I think that this shade here I could probably get away with. Yeah, don't really use it that much, but I want to. I then have the Soap Highlighter palettes and I have a backup because it's me and I like to have backup of things apparently, and it's cheap as well. But yeah, this, as you can see, definitely one of my favourites. If you can't tell, one of my favourites, this shade here, I've hit pan on. I love that. The whole top row is definitely my favourite, but I do like these two shades as well. I also thought about using these two as like a blush topper, but I'm not too sure. I might have to give it a go. I'm sorry if my voice is like starting to go a little bit. Okay, now moving like towards the back. So I have a Tarte clay play palette. I used to love this. I've kept it in here because I usually use it as a bronzer palette. I don't really use the eyeshadows. If I do, it's like barely. So I decided to put it in here because I'm kind of stopped using it a little bit. But I want to get back into using this shade here because I really like it. I then have another Oprah palette. This is like an overall palette, very similar to the Tarte one, but I decided to put this one here as well because I've got bronzers and highlighters and these like shades up here, which again, blusher, I think it's a bronzer, highlighter. I decided to put it in there because then I could use it for my face as well and I wouldn't forget about it. So yeah, the next palette is the Doll Beauty highlighter palette. This is called Hall of Fame highlighter, so it has a lot of the highlighters in here. These two are my faves. I want to use that as a blusher. I could probably get away with that as well, to be honest with you. That's very similar to that. I do have the palette, the highlighter palette that's just got two in it. I think it's like these two. Yeah, I have Like a Diamond and Shine Bright, and I literally use that all the time. So yeah. I then have a Too Faced Natural Face palette. Don't really use this. I might get rid of it, but I still like it. I don't know why. Like, the highlighters aren't my favourite. These two, they're a bit dark for me. But I feel like I could definitely use this one as a bronzer. These are blushes. I could use that as a highlighter, to be honest with you. It's just a little bit dark for me. But the shades in here are stunning. So yeah, gorgeous. And plus the packaging is so luxurious. I then have another palette. I then have the Sweet Peach Glow palette. I'm not too sure if this is still available. Obviously it came out with the whole peach collection. I like using this and this together, really pretty. I then have a couple of other palettes. I have just a Z palette that's got some Makeup Geek blushes in it. I don't really tend to use them anymore because they're quite, I don't think they do them anymore. I then have a Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I might get rid of this because I just don't use it. I then have another Kat Von D palette, which is like, I know some people don't support that brand, but she's not part of it anymore, I don't think. So I do have this highlighter palette, which is the Alchemist holographic palette, which looks like this. It's obviously got like lots of duochrome highlighters in it. I then have another palette which has got Makeup Geek blushes and a Makeup Geek highlighter. I don't know what this shade is, I'm sorry. And then I have a Colourpop highlighter as well in there because it kept falling out. A Jouer blusher palette. I do have another one which is in my other drawers. I'm pretty sure this was like a limited edition, but I really like the blush shades in here. I then have the Morphe X Bretman Rock Babe in Paradise highlighter palette. I love this. I haven't used it in a while, but I need to because it's gorgeous. I need to put it back out again. The shades in it are gorgeous. They work amazingly, so don't have a problem with them. I then have the Brain Freeze. This is the Jeffree Star Brain Freeze highlighter palette. Very unique, obviously. My main one that I can get away with every single day is Gold Breaker. I have used Frozen Fruit as a blush before. Cold Shoulder is really nice. Freeze Tag obviously is a bit out there for me, to be honest with you. And obviously these two shades I can't really use, but other than that, I like it. I then have the Northern Lights palette, which I think is limited edition. I'm not too sure. You might still be able to get it, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, can't open it. This again has some really unique shades in it. These are amazing. Like, I think Thawed Out is probably one of the most neutral shades in there. It's more like just a pink kind of shade. Obviously all the others are very, very unique. The palette is gorgeous. I was actually going to sell it, but then I decided no, because it's too pretty. I love Jeffree Star, so yeah. And then the last few, which I'll just pull out, is I have a Becca palette. This came out a couple of years ago. It was like their holiday collection, but it has like a lot of their highlighters in it that they have in their collection all the time. So they have like Pearl, Rose Quartz, Moonstone, Opal, Topaz, Toasted Marshmallow and Hot Cocoa. I thought this was just great because you can't always afford to get every single highlighter, but then they came out with this and I was like, oh, I'll get it because it has like quite a few of their highlighters in it. So I was like, oh yeah. I do like their highlighters. They're more on the subtle side, but they're very nice. I then have the Rachel Loves Pixie highlighter palette. I did use this in a recent video, actually, testing out like PR makeup, and I actually really liked it. I then have the Pixie and Dolce Candy palette. I like using this, obviously. It's got highlighter shades in it and it's got like these pinky shades, which again I like to use as blush toppers. And then last but not least in this drawer we have the Be Perfect Cosmetics X Mitchell Sub-Zero highlighter collection. Really like this. I've kind of discovered and fallen in love with this again, because at first I was like, don't really like it, but now I've kind of fallen in love with it again and I love these shades here. So yeah, really, really pretty, and also the packaging is phenomenal. I'm going to go through my drugstore palettes another day. So yeah, if you want to see that video, please give this video a big thumbs up and leave a little comment down below. Let me know what favourite highlighter palette or favourite blush palette you have. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!